I think it's possible that it's Friday night. 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 Where are you? I know you're out there somewhere with me. Hey guys, Friday night. Just missed Christmas by 2 days. I mean, June 25th would have been the Christmas for the first half of the year. And then the second half of the year, let's see, 3, 9, new, that carry the 1. It would be December 25th. Yeah, so just a couple of days ago was Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hey, don't be rolling away. Stay here. Stay at the desk. We're at the desk. We're at the Christmas desk. Look, I got a Nikon Z6 here. I'm going to believe for a Nikon Z6 Mark III. How's that? I'm going to get this updated to a Nikon Z6 Mark III. What a great little camera. So because of the Jewish holidays, they didn't give me an RMA for the Fuji camera. But I'm a little bit surprised because I want to be able to get a camera for July. Now, July will be, what is it? July will be Monday. So today is, tick, 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 tick. What is today? Today is the 28th, Friday, June 28th. Then we'll have 29, and then that'll be Saturday, and Sunday will be 30. So I guess June has 30 days. That's what I'm thinking. So this guy should have been back a week ago, but I wrote to B&H and told them, hey, it's over. I've had the camera for a while. Does anybody have an interest in Fuji? Rather than asking for people that have an interest in Fuji, which would mean very few people, tell me you have no interest in purchasing a Fuji. Write that in the comments. You know how to write? You get yourself one of these things. This is called a keyboard. And you hit the key, and when you hit the key, it actually will type something. And then you hit enter, and I will get to see it. Okay, so let's see who's here with me. Who is here with me? Sammy, my big boy, Sammy. Sammy, I've left you alone this week. You said you were going to be very, very, very busy. And I did see your comment, but I was taking my nap. I take naps. I take a lot of naps now. What camera am I on? Panasonic. So this is the Panasonic S5 Mark II. Now, Randy asked me a really cool, very interesting question. He said, what camera would you give up to get the Nikon Z6 Mark III? And I'm thinking like, whoa, this is one of those questions where you actually have to think things through. So I'm thinking, which camera is the least developed in terms of lenses, batteries, adapters, maybe a couple of different lens lines outside of the OEM. OEM means original equipment manufacturer. Thank God that wasn't a question on the debate. I'm guessing it would have stumped somebody over there. What does OEM mean? On? No, it doesn't mean on. Okay, so anyway, OEM is original equipment manufacturer. So I think the least developed camera line that I've got going on here is the Panasonic. I do have 2 lenses, and thank God, that's because of Randy. Okay, but outside of those 2 lenses, I have no Panasonic lenses. Now, for the Nikon line, I've got a lens. I used to shoot weddings, and my lead camera was Nikon. Can you say Nikon? Can you say Nikon? You could say Nikon one of 2 ways, Nikon or Nikon. So you get those people that they don't care how you say it. They say it the way they want. I say it the way I want. But then you've got that one person person that's just got to correct you. It's not Fuji, it's Fuji. Really? It's Fuji? Will you be buying a Fuji camera? Oh, my Fuji camera needs some love for B&H because I got to figure out if I'm going to get... I'm thinking of getting a couple of different lenses for the Nikon because I have the Z6, the original Z6. Not even the Mark II. But eventually I'll probably have the Mark III, which means I'll probably be selling the original Z6. Unless it's only worth like $400 or something, then why? I'd rather have the $400. But I forgot what I was saying. I was saying something important. So anyway, I would probably change the S5 II that you're looking at now, which is Panasonic, which is really a nice camera, honestly. And I got the 50 millimeter lens, 1.8, and I got the 85 millimeter lens, 1.8, and I don't have any other lenses. So if I go over to Canon, lots of lenses. If I go over to Sony, I got plenty of lenses. If I go to Nikon, oh, Madonna mia, do I have old and new lenses, because this is a mirrorless camera. So the mirrorless camera has no mirror in it. Therefore, they took a long time to come up with the name mirrorless camera. But the Z6, just the original Z6, this looks like it's brand spanking new. I mean, it hasn't gone anywhere except on a tripod in here. So I hold it near and dear to my heart. But imagine the Z6 III. I was watching a couple of Randy's videos, and the man looks younger on the Z6 III. It's like he took 20 years off. And all it does is it accentuates the skin. Now, Canon does a little bit of that, which is why Canon skin pops. And it's also why Canon has problem with blues, because they have it built into their camera where the skin tones pop on the Canon. Now, Nikon does the same thing, but they actually add some tools like skin softening and clarity. And I believe you can control the highlights and the shadows, maybe? I'd have to look at that to remember exactly what it is. So they have put in a lot of work on the Z6 III for skin softening. But if you look at Randy's videos, gosh, the man looks amazing. Oh, that's what I started to say. This link needs some love. So I need you to go and click in the description, because when I go to get another camera for the July month, they're going to look to see, did I send them any customers? So be one of those customers that I sent them, even if it's just to click the link and look around and then come back here. Okay, actually just open a new tab and go over there. And you don't have to do anything but look. Then you're done. It's not a hard assignment, guys, but it helps me an awful lot. So the Patreon channel, I think somebody over there woke up, because now they have free memberships, which means you just join and become a member and you don't have to pay anything. Or you join and become a member and you could pay anything that you want, like $1, $3, $10, $25, $100. Okay, so we got they've got paid memberships, they got completely free memberships, and now they've got open to the public. So I ran some of my Patreon videos, which I've been very quiet on lately because I've been trying to conserve my voice because of the coughing. The coughing is like 75 to 85% gone. We'll see what happens tonight. So last week when I finished the show and I woke up Saturday morning, my throat was sore. Like I had a sore throat. And I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, this is going backwards. That's not right. And when I woke up Sunday morning after a good night's sleep, sore throat wasn't there anymore. So I'm thinking because I talked for an hour, maybe my throat got sore. Now I do keep a little glass of water here. I take a little sippy. It's water. It's not vodka. Not gin. It's not rum. It's water. So Sammy said hi. I said hi to Sammy. Love you, Sammy, buddy. My favorite Sammy in the whole wide world. I don't love any other Sammy more than my Sammy. Randy's here. Hi, everybody. Good evening. Hi, Peter. How you doing, Randy? Randy is pumping out those videos. Golly gee whiz, Batman. That man can make a video out of nothing. Nothing, honey. So hi to Randy. Oh, Randy has a Z6 III. I am jelly. I am so jelly. Randy has a Z6 III. I'll tell you, I can't think of anyone that deserves a Z6 III more than Randy. I mean, the man's got a huge heart. He takes great care of me. And it is not only me. I mean, anybody that crosses his path, he does something to bless them. So he deserves what he sets his heart to. So I'm saying hi to Randy. Jeff, you haven't been traveling that much lately. I guess the travel season's over. Hello, Peter. How have we all been? All of we have been good. Even my Canon R6 has been behaving. Everything is good. Now, when the Fuji leaves, oh, they did write me back because I told them I needed an RMA. They said, we'll get you an RMA Monday or Tuesday. Now, I'm thinking with July 4th. What is July 4th? So if Monday is the 1st, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it'll be Thursday. So the 4th will be Thursday, which means there's a bumper day, Friday, because people usually have Saturday and Sunday off if they work, at McDonald's or the post office or wherever they work. So if Thursday is July 4th and you have off Thursday, I guess a lot of people will be taking an off day for Friday. That'll give them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, which is nice, especially if you've got a family or you've got relatives and you want to see them. So that's what's coming up. Oh, I probably will not be here next Friday. We might be taking the opportunity to do a little trip, which I'm not really in favor of, but I'm never in favor of a trip. I'm what you call a homebody. I like to stay home. Even worse, a couch potato. Even worse than that, I'm a Christmas desk potato or I'm a couch potato. So yes, Tuesday. No, when was it? Wednesday. Whenever the 27th was. Oh, yesterday. The debate was on all the TVs. The debate was interesting. I'm not going to go much further than that. But I did pray that God would separate so that people could actually see two different people. How can you make a choice if they're both the same? So at that point, you would just choose your team. But this time, I'll have to say one of them didn't look... Well, actually, I felt a little sorry for him because he kind of looks like my priest before he died. You kind of like... Your energy never does... I don't like the man. So don't be thinking I'm talking politics here. I'm not. Okay? I don't like the man. I don't like his politics. I don't even like him as a person. But I do feel sorry for people that are growing older because I'm going to be 71. So I have a little bit of a soft spot for getting up in age. Okay? So I'm watching him wither, and it's got to be tough. You know what the worst part of that debate was, believe it or not, after it was over, when you saw his wife gently and carefully helping him down the stairs, my heart went out to like, boy, the man shouldn't be working. He should be relaxing. So I don't know what it is. You know, in the Bible, in the Old Testament, God deceived the enemies of Israel. So when they went to attack Israel in the Old Testament, God rises up to defend Israel, whether you like it or not. That's what's written in the Bible. And the reason is God has a covenant. He's got an agreement. He's got a contract with Israel, the country, okay? So, and the contract is not based on Israel's performance. Israel could be the lousiest country in the world. God still has an agreement, and guess what? God holds up his end of the agreement. That's why as Christians, that is important, because what if I screw up? Does God dump me? Am I in the trash? Am I in the garbage bin? What do they call it? File 13? No, he's made an agreement with me when I became a Christian. So watching God keep his agreements is something that makes me feel better on a personal level. So people that basically come against Israel, you've got a protector there that's kind of vicious, so I'd be a little careful, you know. That's just advice, that's all. Now, it's true, God has covenants with other nations also. Israel is not the only one that he's got a covenant. Actually, this nation, God created it. If you look at that picture where they were signing the Constitution, I think there's 2 people in that picture. There's like a pen and a quill and a scroll, and then you got all these people in Congress. There's only 2 people in that picture that are not actually either a minister, a preacher, or a Sunday school teacher. And only 2 of them, okay? Which means everybody else there was involved. So when they go like, you know, the United States is, what do they call that? They call it exceptionalism. That's bullcrap. Yeah, we do have exceptionalism. But that's like a lame way of saying that God's got a covenant with this nation. He created this nation. So we want to take God out of it, and we'll call it American exceptionalism. It's not because we're exceptional. It's because God has an agreement. A covenant is what the biblical words are. So the biblical aspect of it is the way I look at politics. I believe on a personal basis that we're in the end times. I believe Israel is looking for her Messiah. They're going to be surprised because I think it's the same guy that's coming back for us as Christians. Just saying, that's what I believe, okay? There's a large, now I wouldn't say large, I would say good size. That's better clarity. There's a good sized group of people in Israel that are receiving Yeshua as Messiah. See, that's where the problem is. Jesus came and claimed to be Messiah, okay? And the Jews said, no, that's not the way we're going to take it. So that's why you have Jews nowadays, they, I would say a greater percentage of them, they reject Jesus, but they don't know why. Well, the reason why is because the older Jews from hundreds of years ago, they rejected Jesus as Messiah. So now it's just natural to reject Jesus. It's just the thing you do, okay? But there's a bigger and bigger group that are accepting Yeshua as their Messiah. That's his name in Hebrew, Yeshua, okay? So actually, believe it or not, a lot of Christians don't realize it, but God has an agreement, a covenant with the Arab nations too. So it's not just the Jewish nation, it's one, okay? The Arab nations have a covenant and an agreement with God. As a matter of fact, there's some very interesting things. I'm a person that studies the end times heavily. I'm curious. I want to know what's going to happen, what's going to go down, okay? So that is my biggest area of knowledge or expertise. Maybe I shouldn't use the word expertise. That's bigger than cameras. I want to know, when is Jesus coming back? Why is he coming back? What's the conditions for when he comes back? So a lot of those are being met now. So you're seeing the fight inside of the United States. I'm not looking at this from a political point of view. I'm looking at it from how is God possibly seeing what's going on, and how is possibly God involved in what's going on. And to me, this is fascinating. If I had to make a YouTube channel on that political side, I wouldn't be spending a lot of time on Republicans versus Democrats, or Democrats versus Republicans, or Biden versus Trump. I would be spending a lot of time in that channel, which I don't have. I don't have that channel, okay? As to how do you see what's going on in light of eschatology? Eschatology is the study of the end times, the return of Jesus. And if you're in one of the other faiths, your choice. My channel, my choice, okay? You would be looking for what is your faith teaching you and what's going to come down. A person that's so involved in their own life where they don't pay attention to eternity, that's kind of dumb, because eternity is where we're going to spend most of our time. So I have people that have the belief system, and I know some of them, that when you're dead, you're dead. Just like if your dog dies, the dog is dead. Life is finished. Never going to see him again. Do I believe that's true? Absolutely not. And is that a hope, or I wish it was like that? No, I study Scripture. I study the Bible. I study the Old Testament. Remember, I'm Greek, so I'm able to read or at least look at the translations of the New Testament. And there's something called the Septuagint, which is the Old Testament, which is written in Hebrew, but it's translated into Greek, and that book is called the Septuagint, okay? So I did a lot of research, especially when Jingles was killed, because I just assumed Jingles is going to be with me for the rest of my life. And then I had a well-meaning Christian that was very involved in the church, and he came up to me and Peter, you got to let go of Jingles. He's only here for a certain number of years, and then there's no existence anymore. He's gone. He's dead. Get on with it. Go to the shelter or someplace and get another dog. That bothered me tremendously, because if you have a dog, you could be indifferent, or a cat, okay? You could love your dog or your cat, or you could almost treat them like a family member. You could be kind of like in love with your dog or your cat. And I mean, Jingles, I don't think he was more than 5 feet away from me at any time. None. He slept in my bed. When we went to bed, I would go in my bed, and I bought him one of those staircases because he's 8 pounds. So it was difficult for him to jump up, and I figured as he gets older, I don't want his hips or his bones to get fragile, so I bought him a set of steps. So I go to lay down to go to sleep, and sure enough, I'd hear scurrying up the stairs. They're like foam right next to my bed, brings them right up to the mattress level. And I'd be laying in my bed. Okay. And he'd climb up the stairs. He'd walk right up my body, forgetting I'm a male sometimes, and that could hurt, okay? And he'd walk right up my chest, standing up, and I'm laying down. I'm looking at him, laying down, eyeball to eyeball. And he looks at me. He's looking down right at my face. And he gives me 2 licks. That was his hello, okay? So if he went in the other room because my brother George was doing something and he sat with him for a while and he came in here, he'd come up and he'd give my leg 2 licks. That's kind of like, hi, So he'd walk right up my groin, my belly, my chest, look right down. Thank God he wasn't a drooling dog. Okay. Give me 2 licks on the cheek, Then he'd turn around and walk back down my body, and he'd go lay across my feet. And he'd stay there, I'm guessing about 20 minutes, and then I'm thinking he got kind of hot, because then he would go off into the corner of the bed. And yeah, he has fallen off of the bed, because he'll sleep like that. Spread eagle on the bottom and spread eagle on the top, upside down. And if he rolled the wrong way, which he's done, you'd hear a thump onto the floor. And I'm thinking, oh my God, the first time that happened, I jumped out of my bed. I'm thinking, oh, I killed my dog. I didn't do anything. I didn't push him out of the bed. He fell out of the bed. But I learned, and he learned, not to turn that way, turn the other way. So either he's upside down, spread eagle, or he curls into like a ball, like only dogs can do. Their nose is in their butt, basically, you know. Complete round circle like a donut. And he would sleep in the bed with me. And he'd get up. Okay, of course I had a water bowl in my bedroom because I sleep with the door closed, so I didn't want him to not have access to water. And I'd hear him get up and go have water. He'd come up on the bed. He'd look at me for maybe 40 seconds. It was a little awkward because he looked at me a little bit too long, you know. And I'm thinking, like, he's staring at me. He's staring at me again. So, and then he would lay down whatever way he wanted. So I have gotten used to where my feet are over on to the right side of the bed, because down by the feet, the left side was his side. Now, I've been intending for years to get a queen-size mattress, but I only have a twin, a twin, okay? So when he died, oh man, it bothered me tremendously. You guys that love your animals, like Sammy loves his, you know, he's got one called Boots, Mr. Boots, and then he's got another kitty cat called Pinky. And you know what? When Sammy goes to bed, sometimes he'll call me from bed, you know, and one of the cats will come in and say goodnight to him, you know, and he'll say, oh, Mr. Boots is here, you know, and then maybe 5 minutes later, Pinky comes in to say goodnight. So, you know, people get attached to their animals. Randy, he's got his cat, and then he's got his little puppy dog, Wanda. If you look at his videos, you'll see her. She gets near him, her tail is going 100 miles an hour. She just loves Randy to no end. And if Randy goes out, she gets upset. She'll come over and grab his pants, and it's like, no, you ain't going without me. And she'll grab his pants, and he's got to sneak out, you know. So the person told me that I will never see Jingles again. And then, well, that disturbed me because it came from someone I trusted, and I'm thinking, like, that ain't right. But then what if it is? I'll never see my dog again. Oh, man, that hit me like a ton of bricks. So just like I study end times to know when the return of Jesus is going to happen, what role will the United States play on the big chessboard at the end of the day, okay, where there'll be different players and stuff like that. That's something I studied tremendously. So I did a study. Took me a while to do it because I was so engrossed in grief. Grief is not from God. You're allowed in the Old Testament and even in the New, you're allowed only a certain amount of time to grieve, and then you're expected to get up and carry on. Because remember, when a person or a dog or a pet or something dies, that's the end of its earthly life. But that doesn't mean it's the end of its life or the person's life. So if you have a loved one that passed away, and if you were there to see them pass away, that was the end of the run for their earthly life. But they don't cease to exist. And they don't exist in a ghostly form. I mean, just look in the mirror and laugh, okay? Your laughter isn't just muscles contracting. Oh, and that's it no, I laugh from my soul, from my spirit and my soul. That generates a laughter inside of me. Watch people laugh. It's amazing. Okay? Something is driving that body to have that reaction and make those sounds of laughter or crying, okay, which is another strong emotion. So I did a very, very big, long study because I went to Bible college, and one of the things that they teach you there is how to study the Bible on a, let's call it a professional level. So you have to take, it's a big system. I'm not going to explain that system now. It's a really, really big system. So my lightning fast mind took me a while to think, well, why don't I check this out? I think maybe I avoided it because I was afraid of the answer. But I did check it out. And the conclusion is there's no rainbow bridge where they wait for you. No, okay? That is just a really nice story. And it is a nice story. So that story says when your dog or your cat dies, they accumulate all of them at this bridge called the Rainbow Bridge, and they can't cross over until you come and then you take your dog or your cat over the bridge. Okay? Now that's some ways of people trying to be nice to you. There's nothing biblical about that. Nothing at all. Okay? What is biblical is God has a covenant with Israel. God has a covenant with me when I became a Christian because I received Jesus as my Lord and Savior. And I enter into a covenant with him. I do certain things. He does certain things. Okay? And what was actually shocking is God has a number of covenants with the animals. One of them, think of the most famous one, Noah and his ark. Okay? When God started fresh with the human race, he did Noah and his family, which was 8 people, which is why the number 8 is the number of new beginnings. The number of 7 is the number of God. The number 6 is the number of man. The number 4 is the number of earth. The number 3 is the number of the Trinity. Number 2 is the number of Jesus. Number 1 is the number of the Father. And number 5 is the number of grace, which also is Grace. 5 letters, okay? But that's not why number 5 is the number for grace. So numbers have meanings. So this kind of stuff intrigues me. To me, it's like quite interesting. So what does that have to do with cameras? Golly gee whiz, Batman. Well, I'll tell you what. I was going to say nothing. But you know what? The pictures have become memories that I have from my mother, my dad, Jingle Bells. Jingle Bells is the name of my dog, for you guys that are new. Okay? And I have videos, and let me tell you something, how valuable those videos are. So if you have family, let's move this over into photography for a minute, since I do like to talk about photography. If you're younger, like Sammy, okay, and I'm not just picking on Sammy, I'm picking on Sammy because I love him, and he knows I mean no harm towards him. If you have older people, grandfather, an uncle up in age, take the camera, set it up. Okay, now anybody that's not used to being in front of the camera is going to be a little bit camera shy or sensitive. So when did you meet Grandma? Well, I met Grandma on June 14th, 1922. They're sensitive. They're aware of the camera. So set up 1 or 2 cameras, start it recording, okay, and then start playing tricks. Oh, I need to do a test, Grandpa or Uncle or my aunt, even your brother, or somebody that's sick that might not be here for a long time. And you want a recording, you want to document some of the things in their lives. That stuff becomes amazingly valuable after they've completed their earthly life and they move on to their heavenly life. Okay? So I highly, highly, highly encourage. And it's not a morbid thing. It actually turns fun. So I actually have a video from a Baptist priest. Well, they're not priests. They're ministers, preacher. And he said his grandson wanted to do what I'm telling you right now, and he's not sure how to do it or this or that. So he also needed some pictures of him, because I do headshots and stuff like that. And so he came over with some headshots. So his grandson's name is Chris. So I said, Chris is going to do a video? He says, yeah. He says, I'm not really used to being in front of the camera. So this was back in the other Christmas room, the one before this. Actually, the one before that. Let's call it the original Christmas room, okay? So I took some pictures. Now he's sitting in the chair, and I got the camera. I took it off the tripod. I took some pictures, okay? I showed him the pictures because you try to connect with your clients, no matter whether you're a plumber, a tile layer, no matter what you do. The biggest part of business is connecting with your customers. It's not, oh, well, I don't want to get that involved with them. No, they need to. You ever notice that we like people to be my doctor? Let me tell you about my doctor. You have a good doctor? Yes, my doctor. How about my dentist, my lawyer, my florist, my plumber? If you're in the photography thing, you want to become my photographer, because that is a huge chunk of marketing, okay? So I put my camera back on the tripod and I turned it on to record video, okay? And then I left it there. Didn't address the camera, didn't even mention it. So that means the camera was running, the microphone was running, okay? And he's sitting perfectly in the chair because we just did some headshots. So he's positioned fantastically. So I said to him, you know, I don't really know the story of how did you meet Ann? I mean, when you talk to Christopher, I'm guessing you need to think about how you met your wife. Ann is his wife, okay? Man, did he launch. Oh, Ann, when I did this and this and this and that, and I looked at her and I was watching her out of the corner of my eye, and I said, I want to take her. Man, he gave me the whole frickin' story. It's all getting recorded. All of it. Now, his grandson's going to do that. But you see, what I did is I disarmed him. And that's what you have to learn to do. Because if you set up a camera and you go, look, Uncle Bob, or look, Aunt Alice, or look, Grandma, or look, Grandpa, look into that lens, and when I ask you a question, you talk. Oh, man, you have just psyched them out. Okay? Same thing when you take portraits or headshots. Even your pets. If I raised my camera up at Jingle Bells, he would purposely do that. And I'm thinking, like, that's got to be a coincidence. It was every time. Every time I raised the camera up to take a picture of Jingles, how the heck did he know? That's not possible, but it's true. So, you know, the GH4, the Panasonic, it had what's called 6K photo mode, which is what they call today open gate, okay? So I set the camera up, and I put him in a position with the lights, and I got his toy, and I moved away from the camera. Now he's paying attention to me. Now I'm tricking a dog, okay? Isn't that kind of silly? And I'm playing, you know, the squeeze toy that goes, "Gersher, Gersher, Gersher, Gersher," you know? And his ears pop up. Oh, man, I got the best pictures ever. And then I took my keys out of my pocket, because I used to do that with little babies. They like the jingle jangle of keys, you know. And he's looking at me. Now, he's stuck where he is because I put him up on the table like here. Okay, and because he's only 8 pounds, he's very small. The floor is too far, and he's afraid to jump. So I got his attention, and I'm recording the whole thing in 6K. And that means I was able to extract 20, 30 magnificent pictures. And I was Very proud of myself. And then I did 2 other dogs as paid jobs. One was Harley. I'll try to find his picture. I can't do it now. And I used the same technique. I recorded it. And now if you've got 8K and your 8K camera doesn't overheat, dang, you've got yourself a pet shooting machine. Put the camera to record in 8K and then interact with the dog. Have the owner interact with the dog. Don't even tell the owner, because owners, mothers and dads, are the worst part of taking pictures of kids, is a mother and a dad. I had a dad make the child cry. Now sit there, sit up, smile, smile for the camera, smile for the camera. What's wrong with you? Just smile. I'm paying for this. Oh man, the kid started bawling. And I'm thinking like, what an idiot father. If I could get some duct tape and handcuffs, I'd get the man out of the room. Okay? He was the worst thing. And I would start to interact with the child, make friends with the child. You see how I treat like Lewis's son Aiden. I'll talk to him. I'll play with the thing and interact with him. Nobody can interfere. Same thing with Sly's grandson, Hoss, and Simon's son, Liam. Simon would just hand Liam the phone, and I would have a heyday with Liam. Talking to him, not down at him. Okay? And Simon would say, I don't know how he took to you like that, because I interact with the kids. When I take pictures of children, which was one of my favorite things, I'd be on the floor with them. And you don't put them up on a counter and sit like you're going to pose a child. That's freaking crazy, and I could use a stronger F word there. It is freaking crazy. You're not going to pose a child. You've got to grab those pictures in, what do they say with the animals, in their natural habitat. The same thing with your grandfather, your grandmother. Even if you got your own parent and they're still alive, okay, and you decide you want to record them, go to their house. Take them to the kitchen table. Okay, do prop them up a little bit, okay? Do tell them to sit up. I'm going to take pictures of you, so sit up. Let me see what you look like. And then you sit them up and this and that, and then you distract them, okay? Get them to start interacting with you, because that interaction is where the money shots are. And nowadays, video is more important. I was smart enough before Dad died, okay, that I started recording Father's Day. We started recording his birthdays. When he was in his 80s, I wish I had thought of it earlier. And my mother was one of those, she doesn't want to be in any picture, okay? She'd be, you raise the camera, my mother does that. Which camera am I on? Over here. You raise the camera, my mother does that. That's hard to work with, okay? So, anyway, I got some wonderful people in here. Let me say hi. So I said hi to Jeff. I wanted to say hi to Hal. Hi, Hal. How you doing, buddy? Love you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it when everybody comes here. We get together once a week, and it's our time. It's our time to be together. And it's not a paid time. In other words, I might not just be about cameras. What the heck did I talk about tonight? It's 10:45. I only got 15 more minutes, and the show's over. Over! One and done. Okay? So see, when you engage an audience and you engage with people, see, I could picture, because I know so many of you by first name, I could picture you sitting there and I'm talking, like Jim Monday. He said he won't be here tonight because he's going to a concert. Okay? So I forgot who he told me he's going to see, but if he watches the rewind of this, now I'm talking about Jim Monday. He went to a concert tonight. He was excited about going to a concert, and I don't think he's a big-time concert goer, so it's a major event for him. So these kind of things, I like to bring them up. Sammy, I talk to Sammy, I don't know how many times a week. He's almost becoming like my own kid, you know. And if When he goes to bed at night, he likes to call me so he can tell me what camera he's thinking about, what lens he's thinking about, or life. We talk about life. You know, an older guy my age, you can impart a lot of wisdom without sitting them down and having the talk with them, you know. And that's what us older guys are supposed to do with the younger guys. Okay? We're supposed to pass along what we've learned because we'll be gone. Now that you're gone, all that's left is a band of gold. And look, Woody. Woody, bo Woody. I love you, Woody. And he's saying, hi, Greggies. Woody, I smell a Z63 in your future, Woody. Yes, I do. And if you remember, use my, my link to that. And that'll get me a commission, actually, because you will have made a purchase. But whether you buy it or not, get your name on the list. Seriously. Because they sold out 10 minutes. So it won't be till the next batch comes in. So now Woody doesn't do videos, but he is very attentive and very involved in taking pictures. Now it's the reverse of the age with Woody. With Woody, he's got a grandson. Oh, what's his name? Luke. Okay. And Carly is his granddaughter, and he's out there, and he is taking pictures. Now, I'm hoping against all hope that Woody will discover video, probably, what's this about, and be a grump all about it, and then start to see, hey, I can watch Luke. Darn, this is good. I can see Luke. I can see his laughter. I can see his emotions. Because, you know, when you're the grandfather, you know them. You know them down to their toes. So when you're watching a video, it becomes quite important. So I'm not sure, but I think Luke is in the 19-year-old range, 18, 19. So in 10 years, he'll be 28. The videos, if Woody does any videos of Luke now, when he's 18, or Sly. Sly's got Haas, her grandson. I just felt my throat getting dry. The videos in 10 years, he'll be probably 15. The videos are going to be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, which is saying amazingly valuable. So photography is actually probably a gift from God. Now, here's my question, okay? And don't shoot from the hip when you answer me. When we get to heaven, will there be cameras? Will there be video? Will there be email? Okay, now don't do such a quick answer, because all this stuff, I personally believe, is God introducing this technology to the earth. You notice we didn't have the internet in 1925. Okay, we did have cameras, and I think, were we starting to get video at that time, or was it a little bit later? I mean, film. I mean, when they started doing film. So where do you think that technology came from? You think man is smart enough to come up with that? No. That is something, when I hear, you know, like evolution, I laugh inside. Man is not smart. Man is basically dumb. Dumb. Only thing that makes a man smarter is love. When you love, then you actually engage actively towards the well-being of another person. It could be your child, could be your grandchild, could be your nephew, could be a parent, could be an aunt, it could be just a really good friend. When there's love, you activate. And that activation is how God releases stuff. Look, you'll spend time with a 10-year-old boy trying to teach him something with tools. You know, I'm enamored now with what they call an oscillating, I forgot what it's called, but it's a little blade. Instead of a jigsaw that goes up and down like this, it goes back and forth. Multi-tool, okay? An oscillating multi-tool. Man, I used one the other day, and I needed in our drawer in the kitchen, nobody could just close the drawer. bam, they slam it shut. So those trays in there with the silverware go flying. And I'm thinking, like, how can I stop that? Well, I figured we had a lot of construction going on around here. Remodeling is a better word. So I got a lot of plywood laying around. I'm thinking, like, if I just lay a piece of plywood in there from the back end of the silverware tray to the back, if you slam the drawer closed, that tray can't slide all the way to the back. Okay, because the way I got it set up is it's double stacked. So I got the spoons, the forks, and the knives on the bottom. Then I bought 2 of them, and then I got another one layered on top, but more towards the back. So it's like double stacked, like a double stack. Wendy's double stack, okay? However, because nobody can gently close a drawer, everything goes flying. So I was thinking, like, oh my God, to cut this plywood is going to be terrible. And then the gentleman that's here actually has a multi-tool, okay? And his multi-tool was just laying there. And I used it, and I cut the piece of plywood out. I can't tell you how easy it was to actually, cut that out. That noise that you heard is somebody in the next room. They just dropped something. They have no idea that Friday night I'm live. So we're going to make noise in the next room during that 1 hour that you're live. I mean, it's scheduled into the life of the people here, where we will, or we'll text Peter. My godson will text me. My brother will text me. I'll get a call from one of my friends in Nashville during 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. Now, I don't know how many hours there are in a week, but it's during that time. Okay, so where did I leave off? Jim. Jim is at a concert, so he's saying Merry Christmas in June. June is the 6th month, so if you divide the year into 2, there's 2 6s. So December 25th is when Christmas is in the second half. So when would Christmas be on the first half? It would be June 25th. Okay. So Sammy's going Friday, Friday, Friday. Yeah, that's when all of us buddies get together. We get together. Okay, it's not so structured in here, but I don't intend it to be that structured. Okay. On my big channel, I'm structured, but over here, I'm not that structured. Oh, Jim is telling me I'm in the car, but I'm listening. Oh, I better behave. And here's Mr. Camera Junkie, Lewis. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Aiden. How you doing, Aiden? Aiden, you being a good boy? Aiden, are you playing with your toys? I see you over there, Aiden. I see you laughing and smiling. Good boy, Aiden. You be a good boy for Daddy, okay? Now, the Aiden is Mr. Camera Junkie's son. So, here, Woody is doing exactly what I asked. If you have no interest in Fuji, say so. So, Woody has no interest in Fuji. So, he will not be buying a Fuji camera. But Woody will go to my B&H link and just look at it after he clicked it and go, nah. But at least I'll get registered with that, credited with that click. Sammy says, yes, I have been busy. I'm so tired. And I take a nap. Yes, I took a nap today. So Randy is, I'm into Nikon. Not interested in Fuji. Come to think of it, also have Panasonic like a Sony Canon. I bet you that Randy doesn't just have one toothbrush. He's got a Panasonic toothbrush. He's got a Leica toothbrush. He's got a Sony toothbrush. He's got a Nikon toothbrush. But no Fuji toothbrush. I'm making up stories now, guys. Okay, I'm just making it interesting for you. So Sammy says, I really like the TT Artisan lens now. Oh, Sammy does. Hey, he's got a 50 millimeter TT Artisan 1.2. I think that's a pretty sweet lens. Sammy says, I was bidding on a red camera the other day. The reds are even cheaper now. Who wants to bet that Sammy's going to end up with a red camera? I mean, you guys have seen Sammy here for a couple of years now. Who wants to bet that Sammy is going to wind up owning a red camera? So Randy says B&H is closed for buying because of the Shabbat. Use the links anyway to look. Yeah, looking is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for you to look. Now, if you don't know why I want you to look, is because they register my number, not yours. When you come from my account from here to there, then when the guy that I speak to, he looks it up to see how many people I sent to B&H. So all week long, do it. Don't do it all at once, because then they have software in there that recognizes spamming. Okay? But all week long, make a click, because I'm going to ask. Please send me another camera and I'll pick something out. You guys can even help me. What do you think I should get next? Tell me. Here's Charles. He's another Miami guy. So you've got South Florida represented by Mr. Camera Junkie and Charles. And Randy says you could fill up an B&H cart when buying stuff, and they will notify you when they are open again. Oh, I wonder if you can actually put your name on the waiting list for the Z6 III. That would be interesting to know. Or they won't allow that. Because if you pre-order using my link, I think I get a commission for that also. So, shameless plug. Use my link if you're going to buy something. Here's Simon. I was just talking about Liam. How is the big boy, Liam? Good evening, everyone. I'm still awake, which is remarkable. I did get your thing, but I don't have an account with that company. Simon had a bad thing with experience with Canadian Air. They treated him lousy. So bad Canadian Air. Bad. So there's my help for you, Simon. Hi, Simon. R5 Mark II or R1 coming? Simon says, I'll be getting the R5, Randy. There you go. And Mr. Camera Junkie says, I agree for Randy. And Randy is talking to to Simon, ordinary filmmaker. Just got the R5C and I like it. What a nice camera. They did a great job. And it's got a fan built in. And it's got, the R5C is like the R5, but they took a cinema, the life of a cinema camera, and married it to the life of the R5. And they're both in one camera. And they added a fan. So it's actually a sweet little thingamajig going on there. So Randy is saying hi to Louis, Woody, Charles, Sammy, and Jim. And Simon says, we may not need the R5C with the R52 if what I'm being told is correct. Well, if we'll get the information from Ordinary Filmmaker. That is Simon. When I say Simon, I mean Ordinary Filmmaker. So that's the hokey pokey right there. Ordinary Filmmaker. So Randy says the R5C has a fan, and I replaced the R8 with it. You have an R5C now? Oh my God, I'm losing. Oh, well, since you're keeping track, do I have a power block for this, for the R6? I don't remember if I was using the, let's see, the USB to power this, or do I have a dummy battery for this, Randy? If anybody knows, you do. I did a quick look for one, and I wasn't able to find it. So if you know if I have one, please tell me. I'm assuming that power block will also work on the R6 III. Did I say R something C? I meant the R6. Do I have a dummy power for the R6? I don't remember what I just said. Okay. All right, the R5C has a fan. I replaced the R8 and the Z7 II are gone. So he replaced that. Did he get an R5C? I'll find out. I'm going to call him. So Lewis said, hi, Randy, Simon, Sammy, Greggies. Randy says, hi, Aiden. Oh, so Aiden, you got Randy from Texas is saying hi to you and to Lewis. And Sammy is saying hi to Mr. Camera Junkie. And Charles is saying eschatology is always good. Well, it's crazy interesting to me. That's my number one topic of what I could talk about for hours and hours and hours. You can't shut me up when I start talking about eschatology. Hello, everybody. Hi, Mookie. How you doing, buddy? Hope you are all doing well. And same back at you, buddy. I hope you're doing well, too. It's not a one-way street. We care about each other here. And that reminds me, at 11:30, remember, Sly moved over to Friday night. So Friday night is whole again. It feels good. It feels right. Friday night feels good because you'll have me for an hour. Then you'll have a half hour to go pee, go potty, whatever it is you do. I'm going to grab something to eat. And then we turn on Sly. And you'll learn all about bags. And Roy even goes over there. Hi, Roy. Keeping you in my prayers, big boy. Love you. I think about you and love you, Roy. Let's not forget Roy went through hell, so let's keep him in our prayers. And Randy says, please give likes. Do I have any likes in here? Yeah, I think I got 8 likes. Thank you. Let's make it 800. So Randy's asking Roy a question. Do you use any medium format lenses? Roy says, a stool gives better posture than a chair for portraits, headshots. Oh, yeah. Plus, with a stool, I can slide people and turn them, and I used to do that. Pop, 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 pop. Sammy says, Peter the pet photographer. Do you know what a pet photographer is called? Listen to what I'm saying, okay? Do you know what a pet photographer is called? A pawtographer. A pawtographer. I'm making a joke. You get my joke? Did it go right over your head? No. Hey, Shane's in here. Hi, guys. Hi, Peter. He's giving me a thumbs up. So I got some thumbs up happening. Give me a thumbs up. Makes me feel good. Roy is talking to Randy. Sammy's saying hi to Shane in Australia. Shane is saying hi to Sammy in New Jersey. Randy is just giving me a thumbs up. That's his way of saying, give the old man Peter a thumbs up. What? They're free. What is taking you so long to take your stinking mouse and click a thumbs up for me? That's what Randy's saying. I'm just saying, like, please give me a thumbs up. Randy is saying, hi, Shane. Welcome anybody that I missed. See, Randy is so nice. And Shane is saying, hi, Randall. How are you, mate? See how everybody gets to know each other here? And it's just something warm, human, and wonderful happens when you watch a Peter Gregg video. Hope you're staying warm during your winter. Oh, that's right. It's cold down there. It's hot down here, up here, cold down there, down under. So Roy is talking to Randy. The more mechanical a lens, the easier it is to adapt. And Randy and Roy are getting into a nice conversation there. Sammy is, I'm so close to getting the red, but I haven't yet since they are coming down faster than you could say, extra cheese on my hamburger, please. So I am waiting to have a better deal. Let me tell you something about Sammy. Sammy is really, really good at finding deals, okay? You would think that a 19-year-old, they're not interested. Sammy has dug up deals that are just amazing. So you've got a deal maker in that body, in Sammy's brain, okay? Randy's saying, wait for Black Friday or next year before Mother's Day to Father's Day. Well, Sammy's not going to wait a year, okay? That just ain't going to happen. But, July 4th, and wait a minute, don't we have Prime coming up? Isn't Amazon going to do a Prime thingamajig just in a matter of days? So let's keep our eyes open for that. My lawnmower broke, and I went to replace the battery. I got a battery. It worked for 10 minutes. It was not an OEM. It was not the original manufacturer. And I had to send it back. So the one from the manufacturer is more than half the price of a whole new lawnmower. Ain't gonna happen. I'm not doing it. I'm going to wait for the July 4th weekend. And some of you guys do give me Amazon gift cards. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Just so you know, I am grateful. Because all my credit cards have been closed. So I do appreciate that. Bop, 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 bop. Roy says, no cameras or email? Then I'm not going. You're going, Roy, because I'm taking you with me. I'm not going up there and leaving you here. You're coming with me. I'm going to grab you by the hand, and I'm going to drag you there whether you like it or not. Now, how many of you guys know what we're talking about? So Randy's talking to Roy. He's talking about medium frame lenses, and Roy's talking back to Randy. Randy's talking to Roy. Roy's talking to Randy. Randy's talking to Roy, and now Randy is saying, thanks for the info. Boy, that was a big exchange. Sammy says the 1.2 lenses are nice. Yes, they're really nice. I love the 1.2 lenses. I have to remember to look over at the Fuji every once in a while. Don't forget to click in the link below. And join my, my Patreon channel. Memberships are free now. And you could watch all my videos. You just got to be a member for me. Boy, Randy and Roy are really at it. My God. Gonna have to have a Randy and Roy show here. I've been using the FX30 this week for a couple of hours each day. Whoa. Wishing the FX30 had more outputs for the external monitor and all of that good stuff. See, Sammy is making a real good point. When you actually use a camera heavily, you start to realize what it is you wish the camera had. So when I get that question that says, what camera should I buy? Ooh, are you way off the mark? You've got to work with the camera to know what you're missing so that you know what camera to buy. So Randy is talking to, who's Randy talking to? Sammy. Okay. And Sammy, Randy says, I thought you had one, you took it off for the S5. No, I took off the overhead camera only, which is a E10. Oh, there's news that an E10 Mark II is going to be coming out or announced in the first week or two of July. Now that's a camera that's sorely been missing. So I took the HDMI plug out of my overhead camera, so I don't have an overhead camera right now, and I plugged in this young fella. Okay, so he's sitting over there on a tripod, and he's got the cable that belongs on my overhead camera. And that's how I still have 4 4K cameras all operational. Okay, in case anybody wants to know what's going on. Charles is giving me a smiley face. And Randy said, understood. I guess he's talking to Sammy. The red camera, Sammy says, is like $1,200 now. Sammy's getting a red. I could feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my bones. Sammy's getting a red camera. I just know that is so. So Mookie is saying Prime deals are July 16 and 17. So if I get enough, Amazon gift cards, and I can find an electric, self-propelled, I'm tired of gasoline. Even my next car is going to be electric. And I'm waffling out of Tesla now. I'm waffling towards the General Motors Cadillac Lyriq because the platform, they did a great job, and the car rides like a Cadillac. At my age, I want the car to ride like a Cadillac. I'm not looking to ride on a sleigh. I'm not knocking anything. I'm just saying I'm expanding. No, I'm not gaining weight. I haven't lost any weight either. So prime deals, according to Mookie, are coming up July 16 and 17. Sammy is saying it's a pretty good deal on the used market. Bump, 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 bump. When it's on set, you need more inputs. See? The young man, he's got a brain. He knows what he needs. The FX30 is really good when you're doing films with a director, plus a focus puller. The outputs might get limited. So that's something that he has experienced firsthand. Firsthand. Can you say firsthand? Charles says, remember, the Sony FX30 is a starter camera for cinematography, but it's so well developed. That is why it's missing thumb. See, my tongue got in the way. As you grow, you need more. So Sammy says, now I know why a lot of people like the FX6. Has everything from the FX30, FX3, and then some, but it has SDI outputs, plus HDMI. Oh yeah, the FX6. Woo, Willie. But you're talking some bucks. All right, we've come to the end. I am ready to sign off. Gee, I had a good time with you guys tonight. I appreciate you being here with me. I look forward to getting together with you. Even when I'm sick, I want to come in here and spend time with you. You make me feel better. When I was visiting you before the Fuji, you had the Z6 off to show the R6 II. Well, let's see. All right, so what I got now, Randy, because Randy keeps track of what I got. Actually, he's a better encyclopedia than I am for what I have. So let's start from left to right. Okay. How do I do this? All right. On the left, okay. See, I'm aiming that way. That's the R6 II. It's got its own spot. That's the spot where my A7S Mark III was. And now the Canon's got that honorable spot. Okay. Now, right next to that, I actually have one of, if not my favorite camera, Eleanor. And that is the E1. So Canon R6 Mark II first, from left to right, my left. Then I've got the Eleanor is right there. And then after Eleanor, I'm trying to find to click on it. Okay, so I'm looking at Eleanor, one more to the right, and we got the S5 Mark II. Okay, so that's the Panasonic S5 Mark II. So if I sell that, or we trade it in, Randy might take it and get it traded in. He's got a hot little camera store over there. That's where the Z6 III will go. And then one more click over to the right is, if I could find it. Can't find it. Gosh, where is it? I think this is it. There we go. Okay, so then as much to the left that the Canon R6 Mark II is, that's how much to the right the Fuji XH S is. So that's the layout, Randy, because I know you like to know. Pum, pum, pum. Charles says that is correct, Sammy. The red cameras will have way more inputs. Roy says, I hate mini HMD, HDMI. Well, that's because all it is a bill for you to spend more money because they break. I don't see why they even had to even start with that. You have HDMI. They're in all the TVs. They're set up. They're doing what needs to be done. And it should have just morphed into the cameras. All right, so it's 11:15. I've gone over by 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes or maybe a little longer, because I got to go potty too, we'll be over on Sly's channel. Now, she didn't come in tonight. I hope there's no problem. But at 11:30 New York, Miami, East Coast time, which is in 15 minutes, we'll be live in Oklahoma. Live in Oklahoma. And that's when Sly Reader will be coming on. All right, guys. I love you. Don't forget to click on the link for that Fuji camera so they recognize me as being a hot and active YouTuber. So thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed spending some time together. I know I went off on some different topics. That's what being part of the Peter Gregg Show is, honestly. And on that note, we're going to say good night. Good night, my love. See you, God willing, and the bridge isn't up. I will see you. No, next Friday I won't be here. I don't know where I'm going to be. Well, I think I'll be on Earth. I don't mean it that way. But, so, it's the July 4th long weekend. July 4th is Thursday, which means we might go into the Orlando area. I'm not sure. I'm going to lobby against it because I don't want to go anywhere. Lazy bum. All right. I love all you guys. Thank you for being here. Good night to the Canon R6 Mark II. If you're watching this on the rewind, I'm telling you right now, make a comment. I see so many people are watching it. So Sammy is calling me at the end of the show. All right. And I'm going to say good night, guys. And I'll get the phone and talk to Sammy. Love you. Bye.